John Rocker was back in New York tonight, and you know the fans don't like him there, but the guy that the fans do like actually got hurt tonight.
Yeah, tough luck tonight, Sam, for a fan favorite. Tonight, a tale of two pitchers. One is quiet, workmanlike, and humble, a former all-star. The other gets more attention sometimes with his mouth than he does on the mound. Rick Reed pitching for the Mets, and John Rocker returns to New York. There's a tale of two different kinds of players, huh? You don't think the force was out 700 police officers? Rocker, some fans like him, huh? Getting some high fives. Look at this. Rick Reed takes a shot off of his hand. Stays in the game. He feels like he's all right. Well, he's not here. Gives up the home run. And he does not like this one little bit. You don't see Rick get mad too often, but he knows it was a bad pitch. And he's not happy. Later on, John Rocker in the 8th inning. After Rick Reed would leave with a fractured hand. Rocker now trying to get his composure. Strikes out Robin Ventura. In fact, throws a perfect 8th inning. Walks off and has that little look for the New York fans. And the Braves over the Mets. 6-4 is your final. Reds in afternoon action against St. Louis. And this was not good because the Reds just don't have any pitching. Valone gives up the home run early here.
Doesn't sound like they have any fans either.
No, well, would you cheer if you're playing like that? And then Ken Griffey Jr., the only bright spot on this deal, solo home run, but 12-3 Cardinals all over the Reds, and they split that series with Cincinnati. Racing now, and call it NASCAR's All-Star Game. The Pepsi 400 this weekend, kind of a symbolic midpoint in the NASCAR season, and what better place to try to win a pole than at Daytona. Night qualifying because, of course, it's a night race this weekend. And we'll check out the highlights. Hey, nice scenery from Daytona, huh? Nice place to be. Neither of the Earnhardts fared very well this night. Ricky Rudd and the Texaco Haviland Ford has been very close to getting things together. Indeed, he does. Nice speed here, nice lap. He would sit on the pole until his Robert Yates teammate, Dale Jarrett, takes the flag, if you will, and the bud pole, 187 miles an hour. So Dale Jarrett with his 10th Winston Cup pole, and here he is afterwards.
Again, the credit goes to Todd Parrott and his crew of guys, the Fab Shop and the motor department. They do just a fantastic job, and it's great that Robert Yates Racing can be on the front row here again.
The Senior Open this weekend, and one of the few times where the older guys take center stage from the flat bellies, as Lee Trevino likes to call them. Bruce Fleischer, 8 under par. He is torching the field. Jack Nicklaus, though, with a fine 67. He is at 4 under. And finally, our Fabulous 5 golf hole site at WSAZ.com has been busy. Early totals, the par 4 fifth at Shawnee leading the vote for our Fabulous 5. The 17th, a par 4 at Scarlet Oaks, is next, and the second at Guyane, also a par 4, is third. Log on to WSAZ.com and vote for your favorite hole and fill out the entry form so you can play it with us when we tally the votes for our Fabulous 5. One late trade, big news for the Indians, Tim. David Justice traded to the Yankees for Ricky Leday and some players to be named later. The Indians trying to shake things up, I guess.
No, they need to do something, boy.
And the Reds are going to have to do something like that here pretty soon, too.
Fans are pretty upset. Well, that's true. Yeah, you bring up a good point here. You know who's coming up next? Stick around.
What do you get when you combine a nun, a priest, and 3 beer-guzzling guys who say, "What's up?"
Well, let's find out.
It
was a pretty funny afternoon in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Sam. The most quoted Budweiser spokespeople since the Bud Frogs made a trip to the Midwest and found they have some fans in high places, from a convent to a church. They're getting that guy, too. Just let the tape roll. To all the big bank buildings downtown, and that's a priest they're doing it too right there.
The words "every move you make" took on a whole new meaning for rock star Sting and his band today. They took on the world chess champion Garry Kasparov in Times Square. The match didn't last long. It took Kasparov less than an hour to say checkmate.
How'd you like to get a piece of this pie? Well, it's actually cake. 500 pounds of cheesecake topped with 50 cherries the size of baseballs. It took 15 chefs to make this giant dessert for the Taste of Chicago Festival. This weekend, country music crooner Randy Travis has the honors of cutting the first slice. It's a pretty big job, too, since it's 5 feet wide and 4 feet tall. I'd like to just have about that much of it. I love that stuff.
That reminds me of strawberry shortcake, which is my favorite. Hey, by the way, the weather is also going to live up to expectations of that wonderful strawberry cheesecake down at the Myrtle Beach Grand Strand. There is one little problem, though. The wind coming in off the water has backed some jellyfish into the surf, and some swimmers are being stung. nothing too serious and that it's not widespread, but if you've ever been at the beach and jellyfish come in and you get stung, you know it can be quite uncomfortable. We'll call it sunny, 85, the onshore wind tempering the heat this weekend. I can't think of a better weekend weather-wise to be down at the beach than this weekend, guys.
Well, it was beautiful here today, I thought, Tony.
Definitely
cool.
gorgeous.
The Tonight Show is next. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you. Next newscast is at 5 in the morning.
Have a good night.
Happy birthday to my wife, too.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday.
Have to say that.
Watched by more people than all other local station newscasts combined. Thanks for choosing WSAZ News Channel 3, where your news comes first.